We're hearing a petition to establish the parent-child relationship. DNA testing was ordered, and the results are showing that Mr. Meadows cannot be excluded as the father of the child. And I'd ask the court to take judicial notice of those results on file from May 27th, 2025.
So noted.
And we have a partial agreement, so I'll go ahead and read the agreements into the record. We are establishing that Mr. Meadows is the biological father of the child Noah, and that Noah's last name will be changed to Meadows. The parents agree that there's been no family violence and there's no request for non-disclosure. They are in agreement that Mr. Meadows have a standard possession schedule and that neither parent has access to private health insurance at a reasonable cost. So Ms. Warren will keep the child on government health insurance coverage. They are not in agreement with conservatorship. However, they do agree that the child's residence will be restricted to Dallas or contiguous counties. Additionally, the medical support and the child support are not agreed to. However, there is an agreement for no retroactive child medical or dental support. So the state calls the mother. Ma'am, will you state your name?
Melanie Warren.
And what's the name of your child?
Noah Warren.
And how old is he?
He's 1.
Okay. And DNA testing came back to show that Mr. Meadows is Noah's biological father, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And did you hear those agreements that I read out into the record?
Yes.
As to those specific terms, do you still agree?
Yes.
Okay. As for conservatorship, do you think that you and Mr. Meadows can co-parent and make decisions for your son together?
I mean, we do, but I just agreed to be like the sole conservator because, I have him mostly. I'm the primary caregiver day to day and everything.
Whenever you and Mr. Meadows talk about your son, does it go smoothly or do you get in arguments together?
Lately it's been smooth.
And has he reached out in the past to be involved in making decisions for your son or not reached out?
Yeah, it's like we've always talked.
Okay, but you're still requesting to be a sole managing conservator?
Yes.
Okay. And is it correct there's been no family violence in the last 2 years between you and Mr. Meadows?
That is true. Well, it has, but I don't want to put it in like the court.
So there has been family violence?
Yes.
When's the last time an incident occurred?
It was like March 2025.
And what happened?
Do I have to say?
Yes, we need this information so that way we can make a decision on conservatorship.
I was telling him that I was ready for Noah to come back, and he was like, if you want to come get him, then come get him. So I was on my way to come get him, and when I knocked on the door, he came out and he choked me or whatever. I couldn't breathe. And then we started like fighting. And then when I finally was able to I called 911 and stuff, and they came out. I was able to get my baby and I went home.
Okay. Did the police arrest him?
No.
Okay. Do you know if there's any criminal charges pending?
No, I dropped them.
Okay. Have there been any other instances of family violence between the two of you?
No.
So do you have any safety concerns for you being around Mr. Meadows at this time?
No.
Okay. And are you okay with your address and your phone number being in the court order?
Yes.
And we've calculated calculated medical support for the father to be paid at $288 each month. Ms. Warren, do you agree or disagree with that amount?
I agree.
And we've calculated guideline child support at $513 each month. Do you agree or disagree with that amount?
I agree.
Okay. Is there anything else you want the court to know about your case?
No.
Okay. And is there any protective order or restraining orders right now stating that Mr. Meadows cannot be around you or the child?
I think it was a 90-day one, but I don't know if it's like still active.
Okay. I'll pass the witness. The state calls the father Mr. Meadows. Sir, will you state your name?
Brandon Meadows.
And did you hear those agreements I read out at the beginning of this court hearing?
Yes, I heard him.
And as to those specific terms, do you still agree?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. And do you think that you and Miss Warren can co-parent and make decisions for your son together?
Yes, I agree.
And are you requesting to be a joint managing conservator so you can do that?
Yes,
Do you believe that's in your son's best interest?
yes. If we're both involved and in his life, we should both make decisions.
And in the past, have you and Miss Warren been able to communicate together well, or do you have arguments?
No, we don't have any arguments.
Okay. Was there a family violence incident in February or March?
Yeah, it was.
And you heard Miss Warren's testimony. What is it correct that you choked her when she came over to your residence?
Yeah and no.
What did the police came out, is that right?
Yeah,
And did they arrest you?
no,
And as far as you know, is there any current criminal case pending against you for that incident?
no,
And as far as you know, is there any protective order or restraining orders stating you can't be around Miss Warren or the child?
no. I haven't received any papers or anything about it.
Okay. And you're wanting to be a joint managing conservator, just to confirm, correct?
Correct. Yeah,
Okay. And you are working as a truck driver,
yeah,
and you get you're self-employed and you make about $3,200 per month, is that right?
correct.
And do you have any other children?
No, not
Okay.
biologically.
Okay. So we've calculated medical support at $288 each month. Do you agree or disagree with that amount?
I agree.
Okay. And we calculated child support at $513 each month. Do you agree or disagree with that amount?
I agree.
Okay. Let's see. Do you have any safety concerns if your address or phone number is printed in this court order?
No, I don't.
Is there anything else you want the court to know about your case?
No, not at the moment.
I'll pass the witness.
All right, I'm going to enter a judgment. Mr. Meadows established legally as a biological father. We're doing a name change to Meadows. That means that either one of you, will need to take a copy of this court order to the birth certificate office and ask for them to change the name. So you'll have to take an additional step to get the name change done. And then once you get a birth certificate, you'll need to go to the Social Security office to change it there as well. Based on the testimony I've heard today, I'm making a finding that there's been family violence in this case. And so I'm ordering that it be sole managed conservatorship because there's been family violence. That tells me that y'all aren't able to reach agreements all the time. Hopefully, things have improved, but choking someone, even just in play fighting, is not normal. That's usually a sign of someone wanting to control the other person. So that's family violence, even if it was just one time. I hear you do not want a non-disclosure of your address, so that's not going to be included. Um, you're going to do standard visitation. I get standard visitation usually means that Mr. Meadows is going to come to your residence, Ms. Warren, to pick up the child and bring the child back to your residence. Um, and I guess you're confident that that's okay. We're doing government medical, no back child support. Child support is $513, medical support is $288, and court costs billed to Mr. Meadows. The Attorney General's office will put that all in writing and email you a copy. All payments have to be paid through the child support office. So if you're self-employed, Mr. Meadows, you'll have to send in your payments to the Attorney General's office. It'll all be in the court orders of how you do that, and you can always call them if you have questions, because that's the only way that you're going to get credit for the payments. All right, y'all are done with court. You are excused. You can press leave on the Zoom to exit out. Thank you.